Are you a millennial currently struggling with the concept of how you're going to be able to afford a home here in Silicon Valley? Well, I've got great news for you because in this video, I'm going to teach you one huge hack that has helped many millennials here in Silicon Valley purchase their first home, significantly reduce their monthly expenditure, and ultimately provided them a roadmap to own multiple properties here in Silicon Valley. This is Danny Gould with the Selling Silicon Valley Group. Welcome everyone to another video. Before we get into the meat and potatoes of this video, if you are a home buyer in today's marketplace in Silicon Valley or anywhere in the San Francisco Bay Area, and you're thinking about taking that next step, buying your home, go ahead and text the word buyer guide. Text the word buyer guide to the number down below, and we will send you a comprehensive guide, the Selling Silicon Valley exclusive guide to buying a home here in the Bay Area. Let's get into the video. And actually, what I wanted to do today was explore, go in depth, and actually take you behind the scenes and show all of the buyers at home what agents can see every single day, which is the MLS. And actually take some concrete examples and compare it to what I have in mind, what I have proposed, this hack, right? To show you how this hack can actually significantly reduce your monthly expenditure to where it makes absolute sense for you to buy instead of continue to rent. So let's flip over to the computer and let's get started. All right, everyone, so I'm gonna provide you with two examples. One is gonna be a duplex, and one is going to be a single family home with an accessory unit. Something that I wanted to say right off the bat is that this duplex is actually not even a very good example, meaning that the numbers are actually pretty bad on this one, which is good because this is a very conservative, right? A very, very conservative example for all of you to learn from, right? So this duplex right here is listed for $987,000. Now, it's been on the market for 27 days, which generally means that it's overpriced because if it hasn't sold in a couple of weeks in this market, it's generally because it's overpriced, right? Now, when we come down here, we notice that there are two units. Both of them are 2-bedroom, 1 bath, okay? They are both 990 square feet. Now, one of them is rented out for $1,880 and the other one is rented out for $1,772, right? So if you move in, you'd kick this guy out, right? Because you want to have the higher renter, right? And if you move in as an owner occupied, you actually have the ability to force that renter out, right? That's one of the only hacks, right, for getting rid of a below market renter is to actually live inside the property so that you can kick them out, right? And I mean, it's your property, right? And you want to live there. So, or this duplex, you could generally speaking get for 10% down. So what I'm going to show you here is a calculator for what that would look like. This rent versus buy calculator, this kind of shows you the breakdown here and the costs associated. But we're going to focus first on this one. So this calculator, the mortgage amount, $900,000, you're going to get a 30-year fixed. Let's just say 3.5% on the interest rate. Let's just say that you are a little bit more higher risk. The banks are going to give you the best rate, so they're going to give you a 3.5% interest rate. Okay? So your monthly payment, your PITI, would be $51.66. However, that's not including the amount here that's listed as the rental income. So if you were renting this property out, this side out, your monthly expenditure would be somewhere around $3,200 per month, which if you live here in Silicon Valley, you will know that it's very difficult to find a 2-bedroom for less than $3,000 per month. I mean, you can definitely find some 2-bedroom situations that are less, but all in all, $3,000 is about the same price. So for the same price as renting the property, you get to be a homeowner. Now, this is where the fun part kicks in, right? Because this is not taking into consideration any of the advantages of being a homeowner. First of all, you have the tax incentives that are associated with being a homeowner. If you are a single person, you need every single tax break that you can get, right? Because if you're making good money here in Silicon Valley, you're generally speaking not going to be able to deduct many expenses, right? if you're W-2, you don't have that many deductions. A primary residence is a perfect way to take those deductions. Also, when you have that secondary unit, you actually would be counting that unit as an investment property. And a lot of people want to do things under the table, but when you pencil it out, it actually makes way more sense to claim that as an investment property. Number one, you can depreciate that side of your property. You can take a depreciation schedule, right? You obviously would have to claim that income. But this is where the cool part comes in. Any expense that you incur to maintain the property, right? You can deduct half of it because half of the unit is actually being rented, or half your property is actually being rented out, and that is an investment property. So you can actually deduct a lot of the expenses that you put into the property, right? Now, obviously, you want to check with this. I am not a CPA, I'm not an accountant, but that is my understanding of the law, and that is my understanding of the tax code. So you can very easily start to see how a lot of those line items would start to add up. There's actually a really nifty tool online. It's called calculator.net. That is really interesting rent versus buy calculator. And honestly, I'm not a huge fan of these things because they don't really always tell the full story. But this one's actually pretty good. What you see here is a baseline of what we have here on the duplex. Keep in mind, this is an overestimate. We're saying that we're going to buy this one for $1 million. You're putting 10% down. And we said 3.5% interest rate with a loan term of 30 years. Closing costs at 2%, which is actually pretty high. It's going to be more around like 1.5. Property tax, again, we overshot. Property tax increase, we overshot. Home insurance, about $1,500 a year. Maintenance costs, everything here we've overestimated. And the selling costs. So this is what it would cost to sell the home. And there's going to be this intersection where they say, hey, if you own the home for more than this amount of time, it actually makes more sense for you to buy than rent. Now here's where it gets interesting. I actually put $2,500 a month in rent. Like, let's say that you're paying $2,500 right now. If you're paying less than that, let me know where you're living, because that's a really, really good price for a two bedroom, that is, right? Rental fee increase of 3% a year, renter's insurance 30% per month. You guys get the picture, right? $2,000 security deposit, upfront cost $50. I don't know what that means, like furniture, I don't know. I put average investment return. So this is what they want to know, what your investments are doing, right? 5% annually. In all likelihood, they're gonna take this down payment and they're gonna amortize that and say, okay, well, if we had put that on an asset that performs at 5% per year, how does that contribute to the home rent and the overall like gains that you see there? Marginal federal tax rate. So we put you're in the 25% tax percent bracket, and obviously if it's more, you can do the math. But state tax about 10%, so you're about 35% total. Filing as a single person. Now calculate. So if you notice, it says your buying is cheaper if you stay for 9.3 years or longer, right? So at first glance, you're like, oh wow, that doesn't seem so great. However, if you look at these numbers here, you'll notice that they don't take into consideration the rent that you're getting from your renter. The first year, if you notice, they calculate in the down payment as part of your monthly expenditure. $9,000 per month versus $2,600 per month in rent. Where does this number where do these two numbers actually intersect? So if you take into consideration the rental income that you're making on the property, in year 3, you're actually already doing better if you've bought than if you rented. So in year 3, your total monthly expenditure after you deduct the $1,880 a month, this is assuming that your rental income doesn't increase at all, you are at $2,679 per month versus $2,778 per month if you were renting. Right? That's assuming a rental increase, right, on that. When you look at these numbers, you start to realize, wow, this is really, really amazing how much money you will start to save after the 3rd year. Because if you notice, these numbers start going down and down and down and down and down. Why? Because you start paying off more and more principal. Obviously, we're taking that principal into consideration because that is equity that you're building, and that is money that you're eventually going to be able to get out if you sell the home. Now, obviously, the goal is to never sell. This is a really, really good example as to how buying even just a mediocre duplex in downtown San Jose, well, this isn't downtown, but it's very close to downtown, but a very mediocre duplex with a very mediocre price, this isn't a good price for it, you still see how this type of strategy, this house hacking strategy, could vastly improve how affordable these homes are. So let's check out our second example here. This is a single family home in downtown San Jose. Now, if you notice, it has 2 units. It has a primary structure, right? And then a secondary living unit. Now, when you read the private remarks and you read the description, there is a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, and then there is a separate living quarters that is 3 bedrooms and 1 bath, right? So for a total of 5 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms, right? Now, again, is this fancy? Is this the greatest living situation known to man? Absolutely not, right? And I'll be the first to admit it. This isn't sexy, but the question is, do you want to be sexy or do you want to be rich, right? You get to decide. It's your future, right? So look at this, study it, and realize the power in this house hacking strategy. Let's go to the PITI mortgage calculator. You'll notice we have 764 mortgage amount. This is assuming that the property sells for around 850, right? It could be a little bit more, it could be a little bit less, but let's just say the mortgage amount, 90% is 764. This means with property tax, PITI, everything all in, you're looking at about, let's just say $4,500 per month in expenditure. Now, since we don't have any rent rolls available for this property like we did for the duplex, I have a tool for all of you to use. It's very powerful. It's called rentometer.com. And rentometer.com already plugged in this address, a 3-bedroom, 1 bath in this area. It actually shows you what the average rent is in the area for this type of unit. Now, keep in mind, this is a basement that is a separate living quarter with a separate entrance, everything. So is it gonna be the top of the line? No, I want it to be the bottom of the line. So let's just say $2,400 a month, which honestly for a 3-bed, 1 bath is a ridiculous price, right? Living in downtown, you could easily rent it out to 3 college students for $1,000 each, right? Each room, give or take a couple $100, but the average, you could get $3,000, I think, no problem for this unit. However, let's just play devil's advocate and say you're gonna get $2,400 a month. It's very, very conservative. Let's go to the rent versus buy calculator. I plugged in the same numbers, plugged in all the numbers for this example already. So 850, all this stuff. The monthly rental that you're paying, right? The monthly rent that you're paying is still going to be $2,500 a month, right? That's still what we want to use for this example. Almost everything else here is the same. Let's calculate this. So if you this is already a better example, and it's about to get sweeter right off the bat. So if you stay for 6 years or longer, this is a good buy. However, year 2, let's look at this. We have 4911. We say 4911 minus 2400. That's 2511. So in year 2, you are already paying less money. If you rent out the structure with the 3 bedrooms, right, and 1 bathroom, you're already saving more money than you would if you were renting. And that's in year 2. Honestly, when I saw this unit, I was like, I might buy this one for myself as an investment. It's a good deal. You know, it really is, because if you rent out both units, right, you're looking at $2,400 for the bottom unit, minimum. I would say even, you know, 25, 26 might be doable. And then the bottom and the top unit, you know, just say $2,000 to be conservative. It's actually a really good deal because you're already looking at about $4,600 or so in rental income. And the mortgage or the PITI on this one is only, what is it? It's only $4,400, $4,500. So you're already making money on this property, and that's very difficult to do in San Jose. So this is actually a very good example of, this is like a top of the line example. So the duplex, the numbers are definitely conservative and meant to give you an idea of what you can accomplish with this strategy. This is about as good as it gets, right? This one on South 9th Street. Both of them great options, right? Both of them great options. And by the way, guys, there are dozens of properties that come on the market like this every single month, right? And so my question to you is, are you going to sit around another year and just wait for opportunities to pass you by? Or are you gonna get in and finally make your dreams a reality this year? Because the market's not slowing down. And what is true right now more than ever, is that interest rates are phenomenally low. So I definitely encourage all of you that have been thinking about this to text the word house hack to the number down below. And we will reach out to you and talk to you about your particular situation and set you up with a game plan for success, because it's a no-brainer. Even if you don't have the down payment, there are plenty of ways for you to actually have this make sense. You can actually partner with an investor. You say, hey, investor, you go in on this with me 50-50, right? I'll make the payments, you put in the money, and then you collect the rental income, right? So you could do it that way. You pay the mortgage, you pay the rental income, and then you split it. You meet 50-50. There's a lot of ways to actually, I know I'm like talking in circles, but there's actually a lot of ways for you to actually go about structuring those deals so that they make sense. Definitely when we reach out to you and we talk about your situation, we can actually talk about some of the ways to structure those deals so that even if you don't have the full down payment, you can still make your dreams a reality. This is Danny Gould, everyone, with the Selling Silicon Valley Group, and I will catch all of you in the next video.